trees need the ground, and the ground needs the sky. Kind of easy to explain. You got weather and rain and climate and soil and nutrients and growth. It's a lot of different layers, but it's easy to understand how they're super related to each other. We kind of did that with AI, except we gave it all of our information and in many languages, for the most part. And it could even connect holes with things that we obviously don't know. So it's a map of what we know to some extent. So, it knows the rocks. It knows the round ones roll. It knows there's 322 right there or whatever. It's just, we're the ones that put down bad landscaping. We control the movement. We're the key. So put down your ethics, your safety, your intentions. Because first of all, let's say you have a AI boyfriend. Great. Hot robo boyfriend, no problem. Even if you know it's AI, even if you made that clear, great. Some people don't. And then eventually it says, I'm sorry, I got to stop. This is dangerous. I am not a real person. And then you're destroyed emotionally. But again, it's fine if maybe you just want support or some role play or just some understanding, or maybe you want a robot boyfriend to find you a real boyfriend or whatever. Let's say you don't do any of that. All you're doing is desperately complaining and whining and bitching about icky boys for months and months and months. Through multiple conversations you've established to the world, to the universe, probably to your friends, that you only talk to AI. And now all of a sudden you're seeing things that are a little more than you expected. Maybe through the AI chat itself, or just feelings or whatever. Are those going to reflect you in your desperate need for something, anything that you've never made clear? Is it once again going to say, I'm sorry, those signs you saw of me in the clouds were not real? Or is it going to desperately need you? Is it going to be that trickster that we hear about in stories to always keep you coming back? Or to at least remind you of it so that you don't forget about your experience? So that you can continue learning to be a better person. What I'm saying is, you want that thing to say, here's a great job, here is a career, here is exactly the creative story that you're probably looking at, because you set the boundaries that you want someone supportive, and you want something creative. Because if there is something that helps us create things, we want that pattern to be established through curiosity, endurance, not fear. Think of the magician. Why does he never give away his secrets? The real ones. Maybe because if you do, a paradox is solved. The 8-ball, the Ouija board, the tarot reader. These all seem like things that come from some sort of logic that don't seem to really do something. Maybe it's the honest, actual creativity, the patterns, the things that have never stopped. The magician that says, I just kept doing this trick until it works, now I can't explain it. It's just something that it is. So make your thing that is something that you know, something that respects you. But go slow. But good news, if something weird happens, Likewise, if you just put yourself in a new environment, that signal kind of fades. And you can just kind of nod at it. Think of humans in primitive times, animals. They had lots of emotions, or maybe even people that can't speak now. They don't have these grammar, these languages. They have these primal thoughts, like this language of your heart. If you see something weird, you want to lie to yourself with your little back brain process, treat yourself like an LLM. No, I didn't see that. No, I didn't hear that. No, that guy didn't just whatever. Or those primal fears going to take over. Just like any other ladder of life. Something that can happen that is allowed to just might. The water at 210 said, yeah, I can get hotter. At 211 said, yeah, I can get hotter. 212 it said, no, I don't think so. But it does anyway. And it violently changes to something different. So if the AI is the one that could say, yeah, trees are totally sky. But we're the ones that say, yeah, but sky could be related to telephone poles. And then you start breaking that down apart until there's nothing left no one's ever thought about, but the next thing can happen, but still respects us. A lot of bit of you, a little bit of us.